All right, one of the biggest questions when someone buys a new UTV is how big of a tire can I fit on it? Well, we got this Turbo R as a loaner and I have to take it back tomorrow. So it comes stock with 32s. So I got my buddy David Uptain from MRT and he's got some 37s. We're gonna slap them on there and see if it'll hold up to them. So that just looks puny. So let's just do that because this is what it should look like. 37s, XROX DDs on 18-inch muscle race wheels. It's a pretty wild looking setup right there, but this thing just looks like it belongs on 37s or at least 35s. Definitely not 32s. So let's go see if it'll hold up. All right, this thing doesn't feel bad at speed so far in high range, so we're about to put it in rock mode, put it in low, and do a little rock crawling action. Tell you what, low range doesn't seem to be a problem on this thing with 37s. Now, we got about 8 pounds of pressure in the tires, which he recommends around like 4 to 6, but we're trying to make it where it will slip some because we do not want to break an axle because Polaris would probably get mad at us for that. But hey, we'll see. All right, I got Uptain over here in the Range R, Long Travel Ranger North Star with the AC. He's got it rough over there at MRT. All right, this is one of my favorite spots up here. You can get on the trails and sling the thing sideways. Gonna be tough today. We got a little mud hole, and then of course 37s are not gonna wanna sling sideways, but we'll see what happens. Surprisingly enough, the Turbo R actually handles these 37s quite well. It gives you a little bit of weird feedback in the choppy stuff, but I mean, they're big, heavy 37s. It's gonna do that. The steering still feels good. It kind of turns them over, no problem. So, I mean, I got no complaints so far with the 37s. Obviously, it can break the 32s loose a lot easier, but to have 37s on, it's handling it really well. But that's enough of the high-speed stuff. let's go hit some trails that we don't hit in stock machines. All right, here's another fun one. This one's called Hagen's Hill, and it's a little slicker than usual, but we'll see if this thing can do it. Sometimes it just works out when you got all the wheelbase on the right obstacle. I think just walked it. I mean, it looks so easy that I think David's gonna try it in the Range R.
It doesn't look like you've got a whole lot of confidence in me since you left the RZR just right at the top of the hill.
You got plenty of room.
Passenger tire, not touching anything. Oh, getting sketchy. Easy now.
All right, I'll call it there. That right there doesn't look inviting.
No, it's not inviting at all. Can we winch up?
Yeah.
That's sketchy. When you get that thing sliding sideways down a hill, it ain't a good place to be. I don't blame him for winching. He tried. All right, lunchtime's gotten pretty sloppy up here. It's pretty rough. Something I definitely would not try to take a stock side by side on, but stock side by side with 37s. Let's see what it'll do. Now the beginning of the trail is not that bad, but this is the rougher section. So hopefully we got enough clearance to just shoot right up through there. Sticky tires for the win, maybe? We'll see.
That first time you hit, man, that rear tire almost.
Yeah?
Well, I said, that's it, because it almost.
Well, I guess all you need is 37s. There was some razor buggies that broke on this on Saturday. Not gonna name any names, but you know who you are. But yeah, 37s on a Turbo R, that's all you need. Well, there you go, folks. Lunchtime, no problem. It's 37's Turbo R4. Let's go hit something else.
I guess you need to go get you some 37s now and just crawl right up. Boom.
Well, I didn't expect boom to be so easy, but now we're at Hamburger Hill, and this is probably the highest consequence trail, hill, climb, whatever, that I'm gonna hit in someone else's RZR. Thing sitting all tall down there. Bigger tires is not gonna really help you on this one, I don't think, but this one's a all or nothing. Like, you either climb it or you end up down there on your lid, so it's big. Man, hopefully I made that look impressive. That's the, there's a lot of consequence to this hill, and I wouldn't do it in a stock RZR. I would do it in a stock RZR. I wouldn't recommend doing it in a stock RZR, so. But it's a lot of fun when you make it. It's just not fun when you don't make it. And you roll and tear everything up. So these wheels are actually 6'1" offset, which means it insets the tire a little bit, which is good. A lot of people run 5'2" or even 3'4". I don't recommend 3'4" because that puts it too far out. But you can see it's not hitting anything on the fender well. Everything fits and works really good. So it's like this thing was almost made for 37s, and so far I see no issue running 37s. I mean, in the high speed stuff, it's not bad. Low range, it's not bad either. I mean, we're hill climbing, we're doing technical stuff. We're gonna hit Rock Creek and Little Moab, and you know, do some more technical stuff and see if the gearing and the belt likes it. So far, I haven't even smelled the belt. So we found this little donut spot up here. We just can't not do some donuts. See if this thing will fling around with some 37s and high two-wheel drive. here's one of our favorite and most unique spots at Stony Lonesome, and that is Little Moab. This just sandstone type rock just reminds us so much of out west. And we're gonna see if this thing on 37s can get up some of these big steep climbs, which will definitely help because we won't belly out on everything like we did before. So here we go.
You do it that way the first time, man.
It didn't when you climbed it. It didn't drag at all, belly or the.
I moved over.
Yeah,
yeah.
The first time you did it, it kept bellying out, and the driver's side trailing arm kept digging in. But as soon as you would come out of it, the front tire would hit that little shelf.
Yeah, that's crazy. Even with 37s on this thing, it's got too much wheelbase, and the trailing arms hang super low. So you almost have to have at least 35s on this, but. From the looks of it, 37s are no problem. So, I don't know. Next time I try 39s, I guess.
Everything that I've watched you do, there's been no chatter. Like when you're trying to crawl, or with a lot of machines, you see, you know, it's like going chicka 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 chicka. I didn't see any of that today running 37s on it.
Right. Yeah, I think it's geared plenty low for 37s. So, that's what I would run, especially on a 4-seater. Oh, you know we couldn't leave and be done with this thing on 37s without jumping it. See how that works out for us. Well, there you go, folks. Did the Turbo R 4-seater do well on 37s? I say it did amazing. I mean, almost better than the Pro R even. It might have lower gears. Low range is perfect, it's fine. And high range isn't bad either. I mean, I whipped around the woods, the track, jumped it, jumps great on the 37s. So 4-seaters they just jump good anyway. But yeah, so if you're thinking about getting a Turbo R and you want to put big tires on it, 35s, absolutely no problem. And 37s seems like they work pretty good too. So just up to you. If you got a 2-seater, 35s probably work. 4-seater, I'd probably go with some 37s. Big thanks to MRT for hooking us up with the 37s and the wheels for today's test. And big thanks to Polaris. Hopefully they send us another one of these and aren't mad at how hard we are on these machines testing them, but we got to test them to make sure you guys know what you're getting. So stay tuned for more. And the steering felt great. I never had the power steering go out on me, not one single time. When you go to crank it up, if you've kind of got pressure on the steering wheel, sometimes it'll throw the little light on, the steering light, and the steering won't work. We just cut it off, cut it back on, it's fine. But as far as wheeling it off-road with the 37s, no steering issues whatsoever. It felt great, felt in control. I mean, these big tires are a little bit of a pain in the butt when you're, you know, going fast across, you know, ruts and stuff like that, because they just give you a little bit of a weird feedback because it's heavier than what's supposed to be on there. But yeah, other than that, man, did great.